Hello, 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 everybody. It is your baby boomer, Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate. I'm getting there, y'all. I'm getting there. I promise I am. Okay, there we go. Let me go ahead on and hit that mute button. Okay, there we are. And I guess I can sit straight on the bed. There we go. How is everyone on this beautiful Thursday? So I'm going to crochet while everyone peppers in. I know there's a lot going on this Thursday, but I'm glad we're here. I hope I don't have white residue around my mouth. I just got through eating yogurt. And if you don't eat it right, it'll linger. Coconut oil, y'all. Coconut oil. Hello, everybody. It is your baby boomer, Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate. Welcome into the den. How is everyone today? Hey, my Michelle. I got you. I miss you. Just going to put that out there. I do. Y'all, first of all, like I said, I want to welcome everybody in. And I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank all of my subscribers. We are now up to 425. Yes, yo. 425. Yeah. I am super excited. I know the lighting is not that great, and I apologize. I hope that's better. Whew. You see what color I'm working with, Michelle? We're going to get into that today, too. I would also ask that you please share the videos. Please share the videos. My viewing hours are up to 1,414. Yay! So I need about 1,600 more to get to that first milestone. But we'll get there. We will definitely get there. I ask that you please hit those thummies, either on your way in or on your way out. If you're catching it on replay, thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. I really do. Okay, sips and whips. Y'all already know. I probably don't even have to say it anymore, but I'll let you know anyway. I am back with my espresso finally. Great value espresso with my pinch of salt and my drizzle of vanilla. Thank you, Michelle. Does take the bite away. And 10 ounces, I have 20 ounces of the coffee and 10 ounces of International Delight Caramel Macchiato creamer. And that was literally my first sip today. Yes. And it's piping hot. It is piping hot. That kind of sends my throat going down. Woo! That was hot. Ooh. Now, as far as whips are concerned, everything is pretty much the same except the piece that I'm working on. Unfortunately, Tuesday was Taco Tuesday. And I am working on a Taco Tuesday piece. But this piece is actually going to be for me. Y'all know I have finally gotten to the point that I started doing things for me. And when I told my daughter what it was and she saw it today, she was so excited. I'll tell y'all about that in a minute too. But other than that, everything else is going good. I will show you the progress. Look at how I put that away, y'all, because my circle in the middle was so good. I don't know if you all saw. the post that I put up last week, I was working on a green skein of yarn, and the middle of it was so perfect. Oh my goodness, it didn't collapse until I got down to like the last 25, 30 stitches. But look at that. Isn't that pretty? And I try to handle it with care, so it'll stay that way. But this is the progress on the Nana June's Blessing Blanket. I was thinking about cutting it off and letting it be a baby blanket, but I don't have any babies on the gift list. Well, I do. I have one, but he was a boy, and he was just born Friday. One of the bus stop mothers. And, yeah, we end up out there. And she lives in my building, so I thought that would be nice. My Scrap Nana June Blessing Blanket. I've added a few more rounds. I think I was on the brown the last time I was here. So I did get to the tan, the teal, the red, and the gray. And the next color is going to be, okay, if that's teal. No, okay, well, this is the blue-green, and this is the green-blue. And then, of course, purple, powder blue, a darker gray, the denim blue, brown, and that sea turtle green. So that's with that one. And then the other one, I have not gone any further. I did go to Walmart and get the right color green later on that day. So I do have it. It's just a matter of working it on. But it's just been so much I've been putting stuff on. I've been working a little bit, y'all. I've been putting in the crochet hours, getting those stitches in. So I am frogging a piece. I don't know if you all remember this or not, but I was making a poncho for my scooter. And I had this kind of packed away when I got those two. I surprisingly got those two ponchos, one that was lined and the other that was, but they're both water repellent. So they do me really well on my scooter. So I'm frogging this. I frogged it about halfway. So far I've got like 2 cakes out of it because I triple strand this as I was going. So yeah, it's very thick. It's very thick. And I did the thermal stitch with this one, the thermal half double crochet. So it's like super thick. So that was it for the whips, except the other ones that I'm going to show you. So now we're on to the finished objects and the future plans. Okay, this is the fun part. So, y'all, except for tucking in this one end, I finished my scarf. I finished it. I'm so proud of me. It's a whole 60 inches long. That's what I was shooting for. So, like I said, all I have to do is sew in that end. I'm not going to add fringes because I don't know if you would like fringes on it or not. And this one is specific. So, even though it's going to go in the gift bag because that's where I've got all the gifts, that is a specific gift for someone. The other thing that I'm working on is this. Michelle, can you tell me what this is? I know you're just listening, but in your guesses, can you? Kind of looks like an indigenous headpiece. It is a headpiece. I am making myself a bonnet. What are these? I like to tie my bonnets on. That's why I don't buy them from the store necessarily. because I don't like for them to fit tight, but I want it to be tight enough to stay on my head because I don't sleep very still. So I created the little tie in the front, and then I just started crocheting in the round. I'm at the point now that I'm starting to decrease. I needed a really, really large bonnet because this is going to go with my birthday gift from my baby girl. I already know what she's getting me. And I'm going to need this. Yes, I'm getting a hairdo for my birthday. We don't know exactly when it's going to be. It'll be anytime between now and then, or a week or so after. But in time, that's my gift for my baby girl. And I already know it. So I have the bonnet prepared for that. And call it double dipping. But this is also one of the challenges for Taco Tuesday. Y'all know how I love to engage in Taco Tuesday. It breaks away from the monotony of everything else. So, telling myself to slow down. Breathe, breathe, exhale. I'm not anxious. I'm just excited. So that's all I have for the FOs. The future plans are not really changed that much. When I get into the reminders and the talk about it is when I'll tell you about the other things or even remind you of things that we talked about. So the health and weight updates. My vital statistics yesterday morning were perfect. 124 over 70, pulse ox 98, resting heart rate 68, temperature 97.1, I believe she said it was, and that's external temperature. So my weight, I did gain a pound from the last time I went, but a pound in 2 weeks. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. I really am not. I know that I'm pushing in the right direction, and the way my baby girl has been feeding me for these past 2 weeks, excuse me. I am so sorry. Please excuse me. I'm shocked and amazed that it wasn't more. And I had on clothes. So I usually try to put on as little as possible because I'm not trying to cheat the scale. Is that I'm trying to get it to be as close as the one at home. And I weigh myself completely different at home, So I thought that was good. As far as my toe is concerned, y'all know that I did go to the podiatrist 2 weeks ago. So the surgery is scheduled for December 29th. So I will get through Christmas. We'll see about New Year's. And what's going to happen, they're going to remove a quarter of my toenail and try to see if they can restructure the growth. My toenails on the ends act like they are sister curls or Shirley Temple curls, and they curl in. He noticed it on some of the other toes, and he says we're going to try to catch it before it gets as bad as this one. So even though it is an accumulation of skin, it's that the toenails are curling in also. Now, the bad news health-wise is that my kidney function rate is not that great. And it's not that I'm not drinking water. It's just something I go through every now and then. They shoot for that magic number of 7. And I have been as low as 3, y'all. I have. And that's the beginning of kidney failure. That was 2 years ago. So when I went yesterday, she told me that it's coming back as a 5. So I don't, being that it's been a while since it's been tested, I don't know if that's on the incline or the decline. And of course, we'll find out in 2 weeks or if I start feeling really bad. But I'm thinking that may have been part of the reason I was feeling bad like I was and just wasn't aware because I didn't have any flank pain. I had none of that going on. It's not like a kidney infection. It's just that they are not functioning as well as they should. But with recurring kidney stones, and I've had quite a few while I've been up here talking to you all, and I'm just so used to them. I know that sounds so weird, but I've had them since I was 18. I've had some. I've had to have several surgically removed. I've had to have medication to have them dissolved. So, yeah, I'm kind of used to them. But if I were to grade myself today on a scale from 1 to 10, I would have to stick with the 8.5. I feel pretty good today. I really, really do. And I think that's a good thing. This is 2 days that we've been up here and I've been on top of things. Shout outs and talk about it. It's okay. So I got 5 channels that I'm shouting out to you all. One of them I have before. 2 of them actually I have. But the good thing about it is I did put the links to these channels in the description box. I was proud of myself and I got them before 10 o'clock this morning. Sister girl be on it. And I dropped another video today. And I had to go through the back door to drop another video because I couldn't get it to upload the other way. But I piddled with that phone and this Chromebook so much that I got it to work. It worked. But those channels are 2 sisters knitting, talking. Y'all. These are 2 beautiful ladies in Atlanta, Georgia. They are knitters. I think one of them said that she dabbles in crochet, but they're basically knitters. But they're still fiber artists. They have not been on this journey very long. They are they are seasoned women, and they give you spirits recipes. They show you their whips. They show you their makes. They talk to you about knitting. They have the question and answer sessions, and just basically, what's going on in their world, how many people have reached out to them, other creators that have reached out to them, and they are just 2 beautiful. The vibe that you get when you go into that room, it's so comfortable and laid back. I can honestly say, since they started, I have not missed a podcast yet. I haven't, and they don't put material out every day. Not even every week. I'm sorry, y'all. We're still having problems with the spam calls. I have 4 spam blockers on my phone. 4, and we still get a ton of spam calls. So, okay. The second one is the Crochet Crowd tutorials. I was showing you all, and I don't have it close to me, a piece that I started, and I couldn't figure out, okay, there it is. Okay. This is the piece that I was showing you all the other day, and I couldn't figure out how to connect the other piece to it. And I was fussing at myself because when I saw it, I did not subscribe. I did not save it to a playlist. And Sam, by Hook or by Needle, told me to check my history. I didn't know where to go to check the history. She said it's in the upper left. So when I got in YouTube, I went straight to the upper left, not the upper left. I went all the way. I went to the upper room. Those of you who've seen the movie Life know what I'm talking about. But I went all the way up there, and there was nothing there that took me to history. And I was sitting here flipping through channels trying to find that video so I would know how to connect the other piece to this. I have plans for this, y'all. It's going to be a throw, and even though it's going to go in the gift bag, I just can't wait to see how it works up. But now that I have it, thanks to Marsha, Blind Stitches Crochets, thanks to her, because she told me, she took me back into the YouTube room and showed me where the upper left was, not the upper room left, but the upper left. And she directed me to it, and I was able to find it. And there was another piece that I had started yesterday, but I basically did that to see if I could do it. That piece, y'all, I'm hoping to be able to show you that Saturday, if I'm able to start on it then. If not, then definitely Tuesday. It is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful, and it works up so fast. It really does. But it's another, I consider both of these like mile a minute projects because they're done in strips. The other strip connects to this. You connect as you go and just keep going, and the next one, and the next one. And the other one is the same way. It's like you do 2 rows, and then you do the other piece and connect it to that as you go, and do those 2 rows, and so forth and so on. They're really, really simple. They're really beautiful, and they work up really quickly. Okay, the third one is one that was actually a video star of the week. I think she was my second video star of the week, and that's Granny Square Peg. She is back to downloading content. That's why I keep telling myself, take a breath, because my brain is running a lot faster than my mouth is right now, and I can hear myself talking fast. Okay, slow down. But yeah, Granny Square Peg, I figured the first time I saw her, even though she was organizing her stash, and I don't know why that is so relaxing to some of us. And believe it or not, everybody that I've seen does it differently. Tony from T.O. Yarn Craft takes hers out and then puts it together by manufacturer, by weight, by color, and then she puts it up. And I'm basically the rainbow person. Everything has to be, but that's not how my yarn wall looks right now. It's I've been too busy crocheting. But that's what I like to see. Now, I can tell you my closet is like that. I go from black to white, black, red, so forth and so on, all the way to white. Yes, I do. Okay, the fourth one is, and even though she's not a crochet content creator, a lot of us in this community are women, and a lot of us deal with perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. And this is just being Melanie. I know you all have heard the WDNA club, and that is the WDNC club, the We Do Not Care Club. Oh my goodness. And no, it is not as harsh as it sounds. It's comical, it's relieving to know that other women are going through what we are going through, because even when the menopause is over, I had no idea there was a post menopause. And there is. And that has a lot to do with my anxiety. But it is what it is. It's a part of life that we go through. So to hear the things that, she has her notebook, she's got her bonnet on, her 2 pair of glasses, her highlighter, and it's We Do Not Care. And then she scratches it off, and when it's all done, she closes the book. She says, okay, that's the announcements for today. Please put in the comments what we do not care about so we can share it with the group next week. And it's comical, it's relieving, it's so much fun. And there are several other people who have started, those approved and those not approved, who have started the We Do Not Care clubs. There's one in the crochet community. I so appreciate the way she did hers, because she says that this is the We Do Not Care in crochet, and she shouts out Melanie and the progress. And y'all, it's all about giving people their due. You know what I'm saying? And I just so appreciate her for that. There are a couple of others that I've seen that do that. And I just think it's a beautiful thing when you can give credit where credit is due. And when you listen to Melanie's story and see that she just, she looked down one day, she had on different shoes, she had on a house robe and jogging pants, and she was headed to the store, and just all of a sudden she stopped and she was like, I don't care. I don't care. It's life still goes on regardless of how you're feeling, what you're going through. And, after a point, you stop caring. It's not about the lingerie. The moo is just fine. It's just as sexy and cute. Yes, it is. If nobody else told you, Kitty Lane told you. Okay? And the last one I want to point out, I wish, I don't know, I did not research her because I just found her last night, and I was so engrossed that I sat here and watched one video 3 times. And then I looked at other videos. I can't remember her name, but in her bio or in her description, she tells you that she is 3 people in one. I know this may sound funny, but stick with me and I'll tell you. The name of her channel is Knotty Autistic Granny. And she was diagnosed with autism late in life. And she is not apologetic. She lets you know that sometimes she forgets things. Sometimes she'll start a sentence and forget what she was saying. And if she can laugh at herself, she doesn't mind if others laugh at her too. And it wasn't the funny part of it. It was, and I think it to me, it hit home because when you're dealing with someone with autism, you can see someone else and some of the things that they go through, and you realize that this isn't an isolated event, and it may be individual, but it's not isolated. You learn that there are certain things that people with that condition do. And it's not, some of it is a defense mechanism. Some of it is needed. It's like the child is such their thumb. That's their safety, their go-to. It calms everything down. And my grandbaby, bless her heart, fiddles her hands. And it's so cute because it reminds me of one of my great-grandmothers. She used to sit in her chair and do this, and she would rock and just hum. And she so reminds me of Granny when I see her doing this. And when I was looking at the Naughty Autistic Granny last night, there were certain things that she did, or all of a sudden she'll be talking to you and she'll just look up or have a conversation with the other person that's not there. But she loves her yarn and she loves to crochet, and she does beautiful work. She does beautiful work. She really, really does. And I encourage each and every one of you to please go check her out. Her link is in the description box below. So please, please, if you don't get to it today, make sure you do it soon. Please go check her out. Okay, we are now at the reminders portion of our day. Please don't forget Taco Tuesday, 6 o'clock every Tuesday. That link is in the description box. The link that you'll get is a link to the playlist. In case you don't want to follow what's going on that week, you can go check out some of the other Taco Tuesdays and see what was going on. Maybe something small in there that you might want to incorporate. The gifting season is coming up. For me, it's all year round, but a lot of people are not like that. But the gifting season is coming up, and there might be some little things in there to give you ideas. Like last week, it was the pumpkin. I had never made a pumpkin before, Not, on my own. I had made the tapestry pumpkins, but I had never made a pumpkin before. And without a tutorial, without a pattern, I made a pumpkin. I made a pumpkin. I did. And I was proud of myself for making that pumpkin because it was cute. But each season of Taco Tuesday runs 6 weeks. So next week will be week 6, and the 6th week is what they call the repeat week. And what happens is he draws projects out of one jar, and as we call them out or agree to do them, they go into the done jar. I call it the done jar. And on repeat week, that's the jar that we pull from. These are projects that we've already done in this season. And then the season starts over again the following Tuesday. We'll come with a whole fresh new idea. So for this week, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were actually 6. I know we had reduced it at one point, but then went back up to 6. But there were 6 challenges. Technically, there were 7. I'll explain that in a second. The first challenge, of course, was the standing challenge, which is pick a whip, any whip, and complete it by next week. I have mine done, and that's the only thing I've done. But Tuesday was just day before yesterday. I have time. The second thing was make a coin purse. That one I have done. I know I can do in no time flat. Another one was a scrap make. You can combine the two. Another one is a purple and pink make. I could have made a coin purse with this, but what I'm saying is, you can double dip, you can triple dip, you can put all 5 into one if you like to. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, is that better? I'm hoping. I know I did that Tuesday and it helped. I'm hoping that helped. I'm hoping that helped. See, just to be sure. Okay, speaker. Turn on mic. Okay, I hope. Okay, there we go. Did that help? I'm hoping. I hope it helped. I hope it helped. I don't have a lot more to do. I'm going to try to make it through this. But like I said, to pick a whip, any whip, and complete it by the end of next week. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm going to try this one more time. Okay, did that help? Did that help? Okay. Okay. So pick a whip, any whip, and complete it by next Tuesday. A corn purse, gloves, any kind of gloves, mittens, fingerless gloves, gloves with fingers, any kind of gloves. The bowl cozies. And some of these, I have links below where you can find tutorials. I just went through the list of things that they had and picked a couple of tutorials that you could look at if you wanted to try those. And then, of course, there was the purple and pink make. And there was another one that was picked, and it was the pink Juan the Yarn Addict hat. But he chose to veto that one. I still put it on the list. And what he chose instead was a scrap make. So I do have all of that listed in the description box. And I have, like I said, the link to his playlist. So you can always go there and check it out and see what they are. He always posted there. He posted on his Facebook, Juan the Yarn Addict and Friends page as well. So you can find them there. The other reminder, and my daughter can attest to this because I was listening to it again this morning, my Bossa Nova. I'm telling y'all, the link is in the description box. Audio accessibles. I think I said it right this time. No, it's audio accessories. I always say accessibles, but the link is in the description box. But it's audio accessories, and that is by our very own Yes Michelle Crochets. Check out her channel as well. There is also a third channel where she helps content creators, and that's Creators BF. You can find all three of those under Michelle. She's a dynamic teacher. I would not be as far as I am if it were not for her. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. She has helped me out immensely. And I'm telling you, there are people out there that charge thousands of dollars for what she does. She will not beat you in the head. She will not. But the information that she gives you is so worth every single penny. So check her out. All right. The Nana June Blessing Blanket. The reason I'm so much into that is because, number one, it's a beautiful pattern. It is a very easy pattern. It is so easy. Also, Juan put out a call for 50 of those blankets. Now, the blankets will not be sent to him. They will be sent to Nancy of I forgot her channel. I think it's She Loves to Yarn Too. I think that's the name of her channel. Y'all, I'm 61, okay? Approaching 62 real fast. So I'm way over 35. Yes, I'm a member of the CRS Club. Okay, and then the prep list. The prep list that I shared with you all last week, I did post it on my community page. I explained some of the things and broke it down for you, like the water. They say a gallon of water a day. And I broke it down so that you would know, if you know the 40 packs of water that you get from Walmart, it will take, for you to have a month's supply, it will take about 31 of those per person for a month for you to meet your prep water or your storage water. That's 31 per person. Yes, we would need 124. Yeah. For a whole month. For a whole month. And then, of course, the matches, bleach, vinegar, Bic lighters, bar soap, toilet paper, approximately a roll a week. You want to think about if you have childbearing members of your family, it may take a little more, but essentially about 50 to 55 rolls a year, or 25, 26 rolls for half a year per person. And you might want to stock that as well. Both iodized and non-iodized salt for cleaning and cooking purposes. Aluminum foil. Aluminum foil does everything. It's like the metallic duct tape. It is. You can make dishes. You can make cookware. You can store things. You can make eating utensils. You can do a lot with aluminum foil. You really can. And then duct tape, heavy-duty trash bags, plastic sheeting, zip ties, an assortment of sizes, the 550 paracord, not the cheap ones. You want the really, really good ones because you want to be able to guard against winds, holding things down in place. Bandanas, disposable razors, feminine hygiene products, Ziploc freezer bags, assorted sizes, baking soda, glue. You need glue. And for us in the yarning community, you want to make sure you have your yarn, your crochet hook. Oh, yeah, and one thing I did add to the list in there was cutting utensils, things to cut with, knife, scissors, razors, because things will come up that you need to cut, maybe an axe or a hatchet in case you have to cut down trees. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But those are just some things to prepare yourself for these times that we are in or facing. We pray that we don't get there, but it's always nice to be prepared. Okay, that brings us to pillow talk. Yes, y'all. So I brought the idea up to you before. I just want to keep you reminded because one thing I want us to do as a group, I have something else planned for November, but right now we're in the Just For Me cardigan collaboration. I do have videos for that. I have one coming out today. But all it is the Just For Me cardigan. It had to be a cardigan, of course. And it had to be done in panels. And this is mine so far. I have 3 back panels and 2 front panels. And I started on my purple sleeve. This sleeve is going to be pink. And it is going to be trimmed in black. And the finished date is December 1st, midnight Eastern time. Because my birthday is December 2nd. But when we started this, it was like 65 days to go. So there's still plenty of time to do it. I got that far and I put it aside for right now. I was able to do like, my other child. But I was able to do like a panel a day and was still able to go back and get other things done. So it's doable. It's doable. I do understand that I crochet fast, but the person who thought of this is blind. And hers is almost done. Hers, and yes, she's considerably smaller, but hers is almost done. And it's like way before, it's not even November yet. So we've got plenty of time. Okay. So yeah, the pillows for December, my challenge, I guess you want to call it, is to make 4 pillows in the month of December. You can make them for gifts, for yourself, for family members, for friends to sell, whatever. Any color, any shape, any size, any stitch or design. But it has to be at least 6 inches at its smallest point. So if you have like a triangle from the tip to the middle of the bottom line, if that measures 6 inches, then it'll be 6 inches all the way around. If it's, an even 6 inches. From here to here would be 6 inches. From here to here would be 6 inches. So that's the perfect triangle. So from the smallest points, it has to be at least 6 inches. It could be a 6-inch pillow. It could be a round pillow, 6 inches in diameter, a square pillow, rectangle pillow, star point pillow. Now, star, I had it today. Okay, a star going from the top of the star to between the bottom point. So it can still be a small star. It can still be a small star. Okay, so that is it for the pillow talk. I ran into a quote today as I was downloading my videos, and Not only is it by my third favorite poet, and she's my first favorite female poet because of her influence in my life. I'll tell you about that as soon as I give you the quote. The quote says, "Success is liking yourself, liking what you do and how you do it." And of course, that is Maya Angelou. Background: 7 years old. I'm from Wilson, North Carolina, for those of you who don't know. Our senior choir was traveling to New York to what they call the Grand Assembly. And on the bus, took the trip up. When we got to church and they were having this service, my mom had given me my coloring book, my notebook, my pencil, and my crayons, and told me to stay in that seat. Do not get up. Stay in that seat. And I stayed in the seat and I colored and I drew until the pastor started preaching. When he did, I put everything down. I listened to the sermon. And then when all of that was done and the prayers were over, I picked up and started coloring again. This woman goes up to my mother and she tells my mother what a terrific job she's done with me, that, I stayed seated, I stayed quiet, I wasn't fidgeting. I put everything down and paid attention to the sermon. And she was just, really, really impressed by that. And she turned to me and she grabbed my hands and she said, "Young lady, you have a story to tell. You have a story to write." And that woman was Maya Angelou. I met her when I was 7 years old. I had no idea who she was. I didn't. I'm really embarrassed about that, but it tickles me at the same time. But yeah, she was a remarkable woman. Her works are still remarkable. And every time I put pen to paper and write a poem, because I am a poet, I am a published poet, but every time I put pen to paper, I think about her. And I've even written a novel. And I'm thankful to her. I really, really am. Now, I've got a question for you all. It's a personal question. And what I want you all to do is think about it. And when I come back Saturday, hit me up in the comments, or you can email me. Um, my email address is in my description box under my channel. Or those of you who have my number, you can call me. I really want the answer. And my question is forming an opinion about a person considered being judgmental? Or is it building safe boundaries around yourself for knowing, is it taking mental notes so that you can build safe barriers around yourself? And if you do choose to tell others, if you only share facts, like Sally said, John only jumped 3 feet. And he bragged about it all day. Then if Terry goes back and says what Sally said, not adding how she feels about it or anything, is that feeding into being judgmental? Or is that simply sharing facts? I had to wrestle with that a little bit because recently, y'all know I look at a lot of different channels because what I'd like to do is pull the entire community together. If all of us share, subscribe, and like each other's and watch just a video a day of each other's, we could all be great in this community. And that's my goal, for everybody to help each other out. Give each other the viewing hours. Nobody's asking you to dig in your pockets and do a thing. Just the subscriptions and the likes and the sharing and the comments. the free stuff, you know, and each one of us could profit from that if all of us pull together and do that just for each other. There are enough of us out here that we could do that. So that's why I said that. And then looking at other channels, I hear people do the very thing that they say they don't like to hear from other channels. And I think the other question I had was, besides being hypocritical, what is it called when you claim not to subscribe to the same behavior you exhibit? I just want other answers. I've talked to a couple of people, and sometimes you find yourself at a crossroad and you want to know if your thinking is valid. Sometimes, and sometimes there is no such thing as validation. You just want opinions just to, especially when you're confused. I'm kind of confused. Which isn't hard to do. That's not hard to do, y'all. It is not hard to do. So I would also like for you all to please, whether you are coming back in the replay, please leave me comments. Go check out my community post. I have a poll in there. I was trying to wait until I got a considerable amount of people. There is a tutorial that's going to be coming up, and the name that's chosen for that is going to be the name of the project. I'll show you all how to do it. It's real simple. Oh my God, it's so simple. It's like a 5-row repeat, and it's really simple. So, and when I say 5 rows, those rows work up so fast. They work up so fast. So go check that poll out. Let me know how you vote. And oh yeah, I did not show you. Mainly because we haven't gone any further. Because I'm trying to make sure that the yarn is going to stay before I have to make this something else. This was supposed to be the next tutorial, but like I said, I'm trying to make sure that the yarn is still going to be there. They keep teetering back and forth with the yarn, and I don't think these 4 balls are going to be enough to complete the project. This is a poncho, and it is the Wildflowers in Waterfalls is what I call it, because the colorway is Wildflower. Of course, you can see it's Premier Bloom. It is a 5 weight, and it calls for a, hold on y'all, bad eyes. Calls for 8 millimeter, which is an L. That's not there. There it is. So yeah, and also guys, please don't forget that I challenge each and every one of you to spend 30 minutes a day organizing. It doesn't have to be your yarn. It doesn't have to do anything with crafting, period. It could just be, your shelf in your bathroom, the dishes in your cabinet. Somebody who's ambitious enough may want to change their living room around or whatever. Spend 30 minutes a day organizing something. I'm keeping these totes around because what I'm doing is working through my stash, and every time I get close to completing a project, I reposition my stuff because I want to get to the point that I'm trying to grab one without everything falling. I want to get to the point that I can close as many of these up as possible. I have come to the realization that I'm not going to be able to get rid of all the yarn that I have. And now with things going like they're going, I don't want to. But I am grateful for the yarn that has been gifted me and that has continued to be gifted to me, the orders that I'm getting. And I want to be able to have as close as possible whole skeins. I want to get rid of a lot of the scrap yarn. I got 14 of these little totes of scrap yarn, and I want to break those down, and I want to try to maintain it to the point where it's no more than 2 plus my jar. I have my jar, and this is what I typically make my little baskets and, quick stuff with, where I run several skeins of yarn, my little yarn bowls and those types of things. So, like I said, 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I am putting my affirmations out for 8 o'clock in the morning, so please be checking out for that. They're very short, y'all, usually less than 2 minutes. So that'll just give you your start for the day, your word for the day to get you through the day. I think today is a repeat word, which is actually worthy. And you just write, I am worthy, or you record yourself saying, I am worthy. And throughout the day, wherever you stuck those little Post-its or wrote down on countertops in lipstick or whatever, remind yourself that you are worthy. Okay, y'all, we did this for another hour, and I am so grateful that each and every one of you are here. You always make my day. You always, just you being here, when I see one person pop up, it makes me so happy, and it tickles my heart. I thank each and every one of you for being here. Please don't forget to leave the thumbs. And if you're catching this on replay, again, please don't forget to leave the thumbs. I encourage you to please share the videos and come back and see me Saturday at 2 o'clock. Nope. This Saturday it's going to be 8 o'clock as well, because this is the last choir rehearsal. And after that, my Saturdays will go back to 2 o'clock. So it'll be 8 o'clock Saturday evening. And I will see you all then. I don't know. I might pop in and do a crochet with Kitty session with you. So be looking out for it. You never know. You guys remember to be bold, be brave, be beautiful, and behave. Remember Kitty Lane told you. Remember Kitty Lane loves you. So until we see each other again on these YouTube streets, peace out, everybody.